to all. Welcome for the today's session, that is Gram-Schmidt orthogonalization procedure. Today let us discuss about the procedure, how to do the Gram-Schmidt orthogonalization process in digital communication system. So in this Gram-Schmidt orthogonalization procedure, we are going to represent any signal vector in terms of orthonormal basis function, that is phi 1 of t, phi 2 of t and phi n of t. Here this procedure is the tool to obtain the orthonormal basis function, that is phi I of t. Followed by that, let's first discuss about, or first we are going to derive an expression for phi I of t, that is first orthonormal basis function. For this, consider a set of m energy signals, and these energy signals will be represented by S1 of t, S2 of t up to Sm of t. Starting with S1 of t will be chosen arbitrarily. Okay. And followed by that, the first basis function, that is phi 1 of t, can be defined by phi 1 of t is equal to S1 of t divided by root of integral 0 to t S1 squared of t dt. We all aware about that this S1 squared of t dt is nothing but the energy of the signal. Therefore, it can be written by S1 of t divided by root of E1. E1 is nothing but energy of the signal S1 of t. Now this S1 of t can be defined in such a way that root of E1 into phi 1 of t. That we can mark this equation as equation number 1. And already we know that the Si of t is equal to summation j is equal to 1 to n Sij into phi j of t. So using this equation, we are going to calculate for I is equal to 1 value and capital N is equal to 1. Therefore, we will get S1 of t is equal to S11 into phi 1 of t. And we are marking this equation as 2. Then from the equation 1 and equation 2, we got S11 is equal to root of E1. And this equation shows that phi 1 of t, that is the first orthonormal function, has unit energy as what we have required. From the above equation, Sij is equal to integral 0 to t Si of t into phi j of t dt. This equation already we derived in the vector transmitter, Euclidean distance, all this where we have used these equations. From there we have taken directly. So from that equation, if we substitute I is equal to 2 and j is equal to 1, we will get S21 is equal to integral 0 to t S2 of t is j is equal to 1. Therefore, we will get phi 1 of t into dt. Now we are going to define a new intermediate function that will be represented by g2 of t. Therefore, g2 of t can be defined by s2 of t minus s21 into phi 1 of t. Okay, so this g2 of t is equal to s2 of t minus s21 into phi 1 of t, which is orthogonal to phi 1 of t over the interval, that is 0 to t. By the definition of s21, which we have derived over here, and the basis function phi 1 of t will have the unit energy. So the same way, how we have proved that the basis function phi 1 of t is having the unit energy, the same way we are going to define a second basis function. Therefore, phi 2 of t is equal to g2 of t divided by integral 0 to t g2 squared of t into dt. So this g2 squared of t dt, we know energy of the g2 of t. Therefore, this equation can be written as g2 of t divided by root of Eg2. That is energy of the signal g2 of t. Now this Eg2 is nothing but, you can write integral 0 to t g2 squared of t dt. Now we are going to prove that our phi2 of whatever the orthonormal basis function we defined, phi2 of t, it has unit energy. That is what we wanted to prove. For that, energy of phi2 of t signal can be written as integral 0 to 2 pi 2 squared of t into dt. That can be written as equal to integral 0 to 2, since we know g2 of t divided by root of g2 the whole square into dt. After integration, we will get this 1 by eg2 is constant, so we have taken outside 0 to t g2 squared of t dt. Therefore, it can be written as 1 divided by eg2 into eg2. So this eg2 and this Eg2 will get cancelled. Therefore, we will write energy of phi2 of t is given by what? 1. Therefore, we have proved that orthonormal function is having the unit energy. And third, we are going to prove that this both functions, basis function phi1 of t and phi2 of t are orthonormal. For that, we are going to consider the integration integral 0 to t phi1 of t into phi2 of t dt. Now we are substituting, already we have derived what is phi1 of t and what is phi2 of t. From there we are substituting the value of phi1 of t and phi2 of t in this integration. Therefore, we will get the value as integral 0 to t s1 of t divided by root e1 into g2 of t divided by root eg2 into dt. Here 1 divided by energy signal is common, we have taken outside. Finally, we got integral 0 to t s1 of t into g2 of t into dt. We defined g2 of t. So if you substitute the g2 of t in this equation, we will get integral s1 of t into s2 of t minus s21 of into phi1 of t dt. So inside this bracket, what we have written is the value of g2. Now we are multiplying s1 of t in this value. Therefore, we will get this equation. So we are dividing this integral into two. Integral 0 to t s1 of t s2 of t into dt minus integral 0 to t st1 s1 into phi1 of t dt. Okay. Then already we know the coefficient is defined s21 s21. Therefore, this equation may be rewritten as, we are substituting the value of s21 in this equation. S21 is nothing but s2 of t into phi1 of t. Now we got two terms, that is s1 of t and s2 of t are present in the previous integral, and we know that these two symbols are not present at a time. Okay. Therefore, the product of s1 of t into s2 of t is equal to 0. Therefore, the integration term will be 0, and hence the right hand side will be 0. Therefore, we got integral 0 to t phi1 of t into phi2 of t dt is equal to 0. So we proved that the two basis function phi1 of t and phi2 of t are orthonormal. Okay. And in the orthogonal Gram-Schmidt orthogonalization procedure, the last thing what we are going to define is we are going to see about the generalized equation for orthonormal basis function. So for generalized intermediate function can be written as gi of t is equal to si of t minus summation j is equal to 1 to I minus 1. Okay. And sij into phi j of t. And the coefficient sij already we have defined in the geometric representation of the signal itself. So this coefficient sij can be defined by Sij is equal to integral 0 to t Si of t phi j of t into dt. Here j will be varying from 1 to I minus 1. Then in the above equation, we are going to substitute the value I is equal to 1 and the function g1 of t is equal to s1 of t. So the intermediate Si of t will have some set of basis function, and that set of basis function can be defined in the form phi I of t is equal to gi of t divided by energy signal. Therefore, we can write gi of t divided by root of Egi. And here the I will be varying from 1 to n. And this phi I of t will be form an orthonormal set. Therefore, the dimension is very, very important over here. Always the dimension is n less than or equal to m. That means depending on one of the two possibilities. Okay. We can say that when n is equal to m, the signals S1 of t, S2 of t up to Sm of t will form a linearly independent set. And the condition when n is less than m, the signals S1 of t, S2 of t up to Sm of t are not linearly independent set. Okay. So these all are the Gram-Schmidt orthogonalization procedure. And we have seen defined the first orthonormal function phi1 of t, and we defined the intermediate function g2 of t. Then we defined the orthonormal function g2 of t. Finally, we proved that both basis functions are having unit energy. Then we proved that phi1 of t and phi2 of t are orthonormal. Then we have defined a generalized equation. Okay. Hope all of them understand this topic. Thank you.